Hey guys, welcome. This isn't just another video, it's a journey we're going on together. We're going to talk about loneliness, family, faith, and the future. Not just about the world out there, but about ourselves, who we are and who we're becoming. Today we're going to talk about the loneliness pandemic that no one's talking about. How many friends do you have online? 100, 1,000, maybe even 10,000 followers? But pause for a moment and ask yourself, among all those numbers, how many would truly stay when you need them? How many would listen to you cry in the middle of the night, or simply sit in silence with you when you have nothing left to say? Many young people in America and around the world are living in what's called the super-connected age. We can talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime with just a tap on a screen. But here's the paradox. Never before have people felt this lonely. The CDC once warned about a social phenomenon called the epidemic of loneliness, and its biggest victims are the youth. We live in a world where friend has become a button, and like has become the measure of friendship. Yet behind thousands of hearts and emojis, you can still feel empty. You might post a picture and receive hundreds of comments, but when you need someone to really listen, no one picks up the phone. Loneliness today is no longer just sitting alone in a quiet room. It's drowning in a sea of people, surrounded by endless virtual connections, yet still feeling unseen. It's having hundreds of friends on social media, but not even one real friend to call when your mind feels heavy. And this is not just a passing feeling. Prolonged loneliness, especially among the young, becomes a crack in the soul. It erodes trust, drains the energy to build real relationships, and most dangerously, it convinces us that loneliness is normal. While chasing connections out there, many forget the relationships right here, in real life. Family, the place where love is often most unconditional, is easily overlooked. A simple meal with parents is replaced by hours of scrolling. A talk with siblings is cut short by endless phone notifications. True friendship, the kind that needs no filter or emoji, is being replaced by rushed texts. Yet one cafe meeting, one knowing glance, or even a shared silence can mean more than 100 messages. Think about the difference. In small towns where life is slower, people tend to care in genuine ways. They know where you live, they stop by, and when needed, they show up. But in big cities, fast pace and pressure push young people into isolation. Insecurity, competition, fear, and indifference all widen the gap between us. We are slowly losing something very basic, the ability to connect with the heart. When it comes to healing loneliness, many think they need something big, a new community, a soulmate, a deep relationship. But in truth, change often begins with small, patient acts. Start with intentional connection. It doesn't have to be grand. Send a message to an old friend, "How have you been? Want to grab coffee?" Or call your parents, not to report achievements, but just to say, "I miss you." Small acts like these can open the door to much greater connections. Another step is learning to check in with yourself. Every week ask, have I truly talked to someone, or have I just scrolled past hundreds of posts? Journaling, just 10 minutes a day, helps you reconnect with yourself. The more you understand your own feelings, the easier it becomes to form real bonds with others. Meditation is another tool, not to become spiritual or superhuman, but simply to pause, breathe, and remember you're here. You matter, and you still have love to give. One reason relationships turn shallow is because we forget how to listen. In conversations, many are just waiting for their turn to speak. Try changing that. When you meet a friend, put down the phone. Look them in the eye. Listen not only with your ears, but with your full attention. Sometimes, "I understand you're tired" is worth more than a long lecture. The world is full of stories, from a stranger helping someone on the street to a small argument at work. The issue isn't whether the story is big or small, but how we see it. If you turn daily experiences into fuel for learning, even ordinary moments become chances for connection. A brief chat with a shopkeeper, a smile on the bus, each reminds you that you're not truly alone. In the US, some universities now host weekly support groups where students share about stress, studies, or hidden worries. At first, people are shy, unsure what to say, but a simple, "I felt the same way," is enough to break the silence. You don't need a formal group to do this. You can create your own small circle, 2 or 3 friends who agree to meet, share, and support one another. That alone can be the medicine many young people are missing. Loneliness isn't just an emotion. Left unchecked, it becomes a silent disease. Studies show it can harm health as much as daily smoking. It weakens the immune system, makes illness more likely, and most of all, it eats away at the spirit. When loneliness becomes a habit, young people often fall into wrong escapes: addiction to social media, gaming, substances, or the fake attention of strangers. At first, these things fill the void, but in the end, they make the void even darker. Imagine what our children and grandchildren will face if this continues. A world where people unfriend with a single click, where human worth is measured by likes instead of sincerity. That's a cold society, full of fear and anxiety, even while surrounded by friends online. It's telling that in rural areas where life is simple, people rarely feel this kind of emptiness. They may not have many followers, but they have neighbors to talk to, families to share dinner with. In big cities, the more crowded it gets, the lonelier people often feel. Everyone's busy, rushing, afraid of being left behind. This shows us true value isn't in the noise outside, but in the depth of the connection inside. So remember this: you don't need 1,000 followers. You just need one person who truly listens. Sometimes, one is enough to save you from years of loneliness. And you can also be that person for someone else. If you're watching this, take it as a reminder. Call a loved one. Invite a friend for coffee. Spend at least 15 minutes really listening to someone instead of endlessly scrolling. These small connections are the bricks that rebuild a more human world. And before we close, let me leave you with a question. What if one day you realize that the very friends you call close are the ones who hurt you the most? What would you choose? That's the journey we'll explore in the next episode. Toxic friendships and how I let go. A tough but honest topic, because not everyone walking with you is truly walking for you. Stay tuned.